I want to focus on what's happening, and I want to start with the declared, articulated war on the left, if I could. I mean, it seems
Right.
as though um, it's been animated by the Charlie Kirk murder. But I wonder if you could speak to what is happening and the sort of cancel culture that was decried by the right and by MAGA, which seems very relevant to virtually every move they're making politically now.
Yeah, I have two main points on this. Number one, this was one guy who shot Charlie Kirk. One guy out of 340 million. And our entire political discourse and the future of our democracy should not depend on that roulette wheel, whether that guy who decided it was a super cool idea to get a rifle and shoot this guy happened to be a Democrat or a Republican or a liberal or a conservative. So I think the whole conversation is BS. But the bigger point is this is exactly what totalitarian, authoritarian, fascist leaders do, is they cherry pick information and they blame the other. So whether it's immigrants or back in the 40s, whether it was Jews, or now it's Democrats, and you have Santa Monica native Stephen Miller now saying he's going to go after all of us liberals who are rabble rousing and destroying the country. But again, we have to see this for what it is. First of all, it's cherry picking because Donald Trump absolutely knows that the vast majority of these kind of killings are coming from the right. And yesterday, when he was asked about the Speaker of the House, in Minnesota, it's like, oh, yeah, tell me, who is that? I mean, he is so full of it, but that's part of the playbook is, oh, well, that doesn't matter. That's not true. It's only liberal Democrats who are destroying this country. And secondly, he will continue to do this until the end of his reign of terror. He just will. That's what they do.
Well, when you say continue to do this, sadly, it's more than just rhetoric. I mean, there are real canceled lives associated with this. People are losing work. There is a combing of social media to find those who may have said something that was disparaging about Charlie Kirk. I don't think there's even some sort of rigorous process being applied. I think it's just a chance to root out whomever they don't like.
I mean, I literally got an email from someone who runs a Facebook page that I have been very involved with called Hamilton Electors, and with like 60,000 members in it, and said, I've got to take it down because we have stuff on there that Stephen Miller and Donald Trump may not like. And the truth is, Donald Trump wants chaos. He is begging for it to come out that Taylor Robinson was lib as a way to justify coming in, just like you love that there were protests and a little bit of chaos in Los Angeles. That was the pretext to send in the National Guard and to send in the Marines. This is what fascists do. They will leverage and take advantage of everything that they can use to justify what they've wanted all along, which is a police state and a totalitarian, authoritarian thing where only Donald Trump gets to decide what to do in this country because he's making you safer.
Tony, first of all, is he getting corrupted, Richard Greene's signal, a little bit, or is it just me on my end? He's getting corrupted? Okay. We'll just stay with it and hope that it corrects itself. But your point, just to reiterate, I think most of you could make it out, is that it's being cherry picked. All information is being cherry picked. All statements are being cherry picked for those things that will allow the state to ratchet up and clamp down on speech. And it's interesting, you have such a deep background in the legal profession. First Amendment seems as such a cornerstone of American life, of the American Constitution. It's odd to see it so threatened. I mean, by the state. On Pam Bondi, Bondi has tremendous control, really running the Justice Department. And she says there's free speech and then there's hate speech. And she said that we will absolutely target you go after you if you are targeting anyone with hate speech, anything. And that's across the aisle. You can't have that hate speech in the world in which we live, she said. There is no place, especially now, especially after what happened to Charlie in our society, that is acceptable. Can you speak to that?
Um, yeah, you know what? It doesn't matter whether it violates the First Amendment of the Constitution. The goal has already been accomplished. The administration and Pam Bondi and Donald Trump have sent a chilling message to the country. And we are now living in fear like so many other countries have done, people in Russia and other totalitarian dictatorships. And Kim was right, and you were right. It ultimately, if it is going to be tested, it will depend on the Supreme Court. And I heard something yesterday that is shocking about why the Supreme Court seems to always be allowing Donald Trump to win in these hearings that they've had, you know, dealing with every action he's taken. And the theory, and I think it might be true, is that John Roberts and the rest of the court do not want a constitutional crisis. And I think they're sitting back there and saying, listen, if we rule against Donald Trump on this one, he is going to defy the Supreme Court of the United States. If he does that, then we have zero power. So let's at least hold on to some power and be able to stop him on some things and give him everything else he wants.
Wow, that's an extraordinary thing to consider. That really is. I mean,
It makes sense, though, doesn't it?
yeah, I mean, it certainly does. It's hard to square it otherwise. Apart from the fact that they would be in on it, that the Supreme Court is sort of in on the reconstitution of this country without regard to a lot of those things that we've just found are foundational tenets of the country. I only have
I
another
think
minute or
that's
two.
true.
Yeah,
I
go
think
ahead.
that's true for Thomas and Alito. I'm not sure about the rest.
Right, I would agree with that. I mean, I think without question, Thomas and Alito fall in the category. They're up for the reconstituting of America. I want to ask you quickly about registering voters. I know you're all about that, and this is one of the great superpowers I think you have, which is the levers still available to us as citizens are there, but we have to use them.
So today is National Voter Registration Day, and California has an unbelievably important opportunity to help stop Donald Trump from taking over complete control of everything. If in fact, because Texas added 5 Republican seats, instead of only having to flip 3 seats to have Democrats take control of the House in the midterm elections, which would allow them to say no to increased funding for ICE, say no to any other crazy, horrible thing Donald Trump wants to do for the second 2 years, we now have to flip 8 seats to have Democrats have that level of check and balance. That's what Proposition 50 is all about. It's having us get those 5 additional likely Democratic districts to actually level the playing field with what Texas did. And so I created a bit.ly link helping the governor and his campaign. Prop 50, if you're not registered and you live in California, please get registered. If you know young people who turned 18 after the last election, get them registered. So bit.ly/register to the number 2, stop Donald Trump. Register to stop Donald Trump. That's the bit.ly link. And we're probably going to lose that election because there's so much Republican money coming in, because people don't understand how important it is. Let's just level that playing field and make sure that there can be some check and balance on Trump in the second 2 years of his term.
Go back to what you were just saying. That you think that the election will be lost because there won't be. I'm sorry. Be a little more specific. People just don't get how important it is, or what is your point?
Right now, it's very close in terms of the polling, but there's so much money coming in from Republican donors. Like Kevin McCarthy said, he's raising $100 million. And because people don't understand civics and they
This
think
is for Prop 50, just to be clear about things.
Prop 50
Right.
is The only thing we in California can do between now and the midterms, and it's an incredibly important thing for the entire country, unless California passes Prop 50, the Democrats will have a very, very difficult, if not impossible, case to actually get control of the House of Representatives and be able to have a check and balance on Donald Trump. So right now, as I said, we need to flip 3 seats for Democrats to take control of the House. Texas added 5, so now we have to flip 8 seats. If California passes Prop 50, we go back to 3, which makes it much more likely that it will be a competitive midterm election. But also, Donald Trump is not going to stop. And he's going to try to get some more seats out of Missouri and other Republican states. So this is a gerrymandering war. And California, this is the first battle. So people have to register and they have to vote yes on Prop 50.
And it's noted, Vilma notes, what about the seats Missouri is creating for Republicans? There are other red states that are getting into this game, and then there are other blue states getting into this game, right?
Yeah, so we have to do what we can do in California. We're the biggest states. We're the biggest state. These 5 seats will likely determine who controls the House of Representatives for the next 2 years.
That's why California is not just California. In this case, Richard's point is it really is determinative, potentially, America's future on the line. And so much of what happens in California, it really will determine what is ahead. Pal, I appreciate you, scrambling to get together and join us. I always appreciate your contributions. Good luck with registering voters and getting the word out. And you have a safe harbor here. Please come back and visit.
Thanks. Sorry for the Wi-Fi. It only happens with you, but I'm happy to come. I'm happy to come out to my car to try to give you a high quality show.
At least now we know that's the high ground is the car. So, all right. Thanks,
hey,
Richard Greene, the Civics Dean. Hi, it's Mark, and I thought that was great. Hit the notification bell. You'll know whenever there's a new video being dropped, and please subscribe to our channel to help us save the universe.